everybody, and welcome to Storm Reads. And today I am going to be talking about the books that I read from the weeks of the 1st through the 7th of August. I can't believe that a week already has gone by in August. It's just the time is going by so quickly. And so I read 5 books this week, and so I think I did pretty good. The first one is The Mailman by Bentley Little, and it's a supernatural mailman who wreaks havoc on a town. It reminded me a lot of Needful Things. It had kind of that kind of style. It's kind of funny because they were both like written in the same year in 1991. And Bentley Little's version is this mailman who comes to town after they find out that their mailman has like committed suicide. And all of a sudden they got this mailman, and he starts delivering all kinds of really fun mail instead of bills and things like that. He's delivering kind of cool mail. And at first it's like, hey, this is cool, but then the main character Doug, he just thinks there's something off about the mailman, and he's like, where's all the bills and the junk mail and things like that? And he catches him one time. It looks like he's like sifting through the mail and like throwing out certain mail and stuff like that and putting other mail in it, and he just thinks there's something going on that's wrong about the mailman. And then one day his son, when they are at the lake, they find a whole bunch of mail in the lake, and it's all the stuff like they were missing, like the junk mail and the bills and stuff like that. And so they're really pretty sure that something's wrong with the mailman. And the more they try to figure things out, then the worse things start to be, because now the mailman is not as nice. And so now you're starting to get mail that's kind of pitting neighbor against neighbor, and then bad things are happening, and then people are committing murders and killing themselves and just going crazy and doing all these things. And it's all linked to the mailman, and Doug and a few of the other ones have got to try to figure out, how to get rid of the mailman. People won't believe them. The police, they're not believing them, everything. There's one policeman that kind of thinks that they're on the right track, but like the chief, he's like, you guys are crazy, it's not the mailman type thing. But I mean, after so much stuff happens, it becomes really undeniable that there's something wrong in this town, and it has to do with the mail. So, yeah, it was okay. It was a little gruesome in parts and stuff, but overall it was good, and I gave it 3 stars. And then I listened to Muffin to Fear by Victoria Hamilton, and this is about Mary and Virgil, who have come back from their honeymoon to find that Pish has invited ghost hunters to the winter castle, and things don't go quite as nice as they thought things were going to go. Pish feels really bad when bad things start happening, and he didn't really mean to bring them to the winter castle, but he also thought that Mary and Virgil were going to be gone longer than what they were, and he thought maybe they would be through and out, because Pish thinks he's been seeing ghosts and stuff in there. And so he got to talking to somebody, and then all of a sudden, before you know it, there's these ghost hunters there, and it just kind of got out of control. And then one of them connected to the ghost hunting dies, and so Mary's got to try to figure out exactly what's going on. Virgil, who is not the I think he was either a policeman or a police chief. I think he was either a chief or sheriff or something, but he retired and everything. He's not, and so he's like, just give the other guy a chance. But Mary, of course, she's got to figure out what's going on, and I liked it. I enjoyed it. I think this was number 6 in the Mary Muffin series. It's either 5 or 6. I forgot to write it down, of course, because I never remember to do these things. And I think I have a couple left in this series, and then I'll be done with this series, because I'm pretty sure it's done. There hasn't been anything written since I think 2017 or 18, so I think it might be done. But anyway, caught up, finished, something. And I don't know if I said, but I gave it 4 stars. Then the next one I listened to and /read because I have an eARC of it, and I listened to it on audio because, yes, I didn't listen to it in time, and it's already out. And that's Arsenic and Adobo by Mia P. Manansala, and this one's about Lila, who works at her aunt's Filipino restaurant, and Derek, her ex-boyfriend, comes in, and he seems to think of himself as a food critic and everything, and he's been very nasty to her aunt and her in the restaurant, and then something happens and find out that he's been kind of nasty to a lot of the restaurants around town, and so she's gonna have to try to figure out what happened because she is the main suspect in the investigation and stuff. And it was okay. It's a little different. It's not as cozy as I want a cozy to be, and that's pretty much all I'm gonna say right now, because not everybody in the Killing Time with Cozy Book Club has read it, and so I don't want to say too much. And I won't say what I rated it, because then it'll be spoilers for our live show that they have, because I don't want nobody to know what I thought of it yet. But yeah, it was okay. And then the next one is Second Chance Pass, and this is Paul and Vanessa's story. It's a contemporary romance. It's number 5 in the Virgin River series. And this one had a lot of stuff going on. Like, the romance for Paul and Vanessa was only like the first like maybe 40% to 45% of the book, and then the rest of it was just a whole bunch of stuff in Virgin River that was happening. We had 2 babies born. We had like 3 other relationships happening. One of them happened extremely quick, and it was just like, oh well, they don't need a story, I guess. And yeah, it was okay. It just, I'm going to say this one's probably not my favorite in the series, but I still enjoyed it, and I gave it 4 stars. And then the next one I have is Magic Most Wanted by Tyler Whiteside, and this one is a middle grade book about Mason who opens up a music box, and all of a sudden he becomes Magic's Most Wanted because of some things that happened, and so he has to try to figure out what's going on, because he's never heard of magic before, and he gets help from a young girl, Avery, a cantankerous talking rabbit. His friend Amid also starts to help him towards the end, and so he has to kind of prove that he didn't have anything to do with what was happening, that it wasn't his fault that when he opened this music box things happened. And it was super cute. I really enjoyed it. I gave it 4 stars. I do believe that young readers, and I think adults, could enjoy it too, because like I said, it was super fun, and it had me laughing. The audiobook was really great because it was a lot of fun listening to the voice that the narrator gave the cantankerous talking rabbit, and so that was kind of fun and everything. So yeah, I think everybody would enjoy it. So that's everything that I read this week. 5 books. I think I did pretty good, and they were all fairly decent reads, so it was a good reading week. And if you've read any of these, feel free to chat below and let me know what you thought of them. Just don't spoil or anything like that. And hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.